Hello children, welcome to your English lesson. Today we are going to do a reading lesson, and in this lesson we are going to practice how to make use of visual clues to understand the meaning of a text. We are going to start the lesson with a simple poem, and this is what my poem is going to be about. Can you see what it is? Yes, it's a snowman. You see, children, in cold countries during winter, the children make snowmen with snow. And when they make a snowman, they usually dress the snowman or decorate the snowman with various objects. Can you see? Okay, so today we are going to read about Peter's snowman. I can show you the poem, but there is a small problem here. Can you see? The poem comes with a set of blanks. Children, do you think it's easy for you to find words to fill in these blanks? What do you think? Yes, I know it's going to be difficult. For one thing, I have not given you the words for the blanks. And the other thing, you see, this type of activity, making snowmen, is not a common activity for Sri Lankan children like you. Okay, what if I give you this poem once again like this? Now look at this, children. What do you have instead of the blanks here? I have given you some pictures. See, now is it easy for you to fill in the blanks? Now what I want you to do is to rewrite this poem once again, replacing the pictures with the words that are denoted by these pictures. Shall we give it a try? Yes, you need your notebook and your pen right now, and you need to copy very quickly. And remember, children, if there's any particular picture that you can't see clearly, don't worry. And if there's any particular word that you don't know, don't worry, skip those and go to the next. Okay, children, now let's read the poem together. I hope you could do it very easily. Let's read the poem together. My snowman. I make a snowman when it snows. I use a carrot for his nose. I put a hat upon his head. I give him mittens, blue and red. I give him pebbles for his teeth. Then I leave and play a while. When I come back, his face looks funny. His nose was eaten by a rabbit. Dear children, what has happened? I feel sorry about this snowman. His nose was eaten by a rabbit. Hope you could get the words correct. Maybe you had to face problems with the two words mittens and pebbles. Don't worry. Mittens are gloves. Gloves that you wear during cold climate. And pebbles means small stones. So children, even if you have written the word gloves instead of mittens and also small stones or any other suitable word that can be used as snowman's teeth, you are correct. Okay. Now in this situation, what helped you to understand the meaning of this poem? Remember, earlier I gave you the same poem with the blanks, and you found it quite difficult to fill the blanks because you are not familiar with this context. But now, when I gave it with the pictures helped you to understand the meaning of the poem. So children, these are the visual clues, and the visual clues help you to understand the meaning of a poem. Okay, children, let me take you to a more advanced situation now. This is another activity. Now here you have a paragraph. If you look at the paragraph, it's a very short paragraph. And it is on the water cycle. Shall we read it? The water cycle. The cyclic movement of water from the atmosphere to the earth and back to the atmosphere through various processes is called the water cycle. Different steps of water cycle include evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, and surface runoff. What do you think? Do you see some unfamiliar words here? Some technical words? I'm sure if someone gives you questions like this to answer based on this particular paragraph, you will find it a little bit difficult. These words, evaporation, transpiration, condensation, and even precipitation, seem a little bit unfamiliar to you. So children, what if we can have a picture to help us understand these unfamiliar words? Can you look at this picture? If you look at the picture clearly, you can see the word evaporation here. See how the upward arrow shows you the word evaporation, actually the meaning of the word evaporation. It is the water going up towards the sun as vapor. In the same way, look at the word transpiration here. You see another upward arrow. So this time the arrow is from the trees towards the clouds. So as you can understand, transpiration means how the tree leaves lose water when there is sunshine. Okay children, in the same way, I hope you can understand what condensation means and what precipitation means very easily by looking at this picture. So children, as you can see, in this situation also, the picture helped you to understand the meaning of unfamiliar words. So most of the time in your textbook, you have reading passages and you come across reading passages in your day-to-day life, and sometimes these reading passages accompany visual clues. Now children, do you always pay attention to these visual clues? No, sometimes you ignore these. But when you pay attention to the visual clues, it's very easy for you to understand the meaning of a text. Now in your pupil's text, in Unit 3, Activity 12, which is on page 33, you have a similar picture which shows you very clearly a cross-section of a tank. You see children, in this particular lesson about the irrigation system of Sri Lanka, you need to understand or you need to identify the different parts of a tank. So in this particular lesson, there is another clear picture which shows you the cross-section of a tank. So once this lesson is over, take your textbook out and see how clear that explanation is with the help of the visual clue. Okay children, now we have understood the use of visual clues. We understood that visual clues can help us to get the meaning of a text. We also understood that visual clues can help us to understand the meaning of unfamiliar vocabulary. Tell me, are pictures the only visual clues that we come across in our reading text? Look at this situation. What do you see here? It's a poster. So I want you to study this poster, pay attention to the visual clues in this poster and say whether these three statements are true or false. So this time, study the poster very carefully. I don't think you see pictures there. There are other types of visual clues for you to understand the meaning conveyed by the poster. Okay, children, let's pay attention to the first statement. It says, the poster is about a sale. What do you think? Yes, if you look at the poster clearly, you see the word sale very prominently displayed on the poster. So, the first statement is correct. The poster is about a sale. What about the second one? The second one said, the sale is held only throughout the month of January. It's false. So children, I hope you got this correct. Did you identify that it is false? Or were you misled by what is said there, January clearance sale? And did you think that the sale is held throughout the month of January? No, children. You had to pay attention to the smaller letters there. It is held only from January 2nd to 15th. So the second statement is wrong. What about the third one here? You can get a 70% discount for any item you buy at this sale. So you know how advertisements work. So is this true? No, it's false once again. You see the figure 70, very large, displayed on the poster. But did you see that it is only up to 70%? So up to 70% doesn't mean that you are getting a 70% discount for any item you buy. So the third statement also is false. So children, when you look at the poster, what caught your attention first? Yes, I'm sure the word sale or the word clearance and also the number 70. I'm sure they caught your attention first. And maybe because of that you were misled at certain places. Okay, what made you pay more attention to them? You're correct. It's the color. It's the size of the font. Okay, so in this situation, I wanted to teach you two things, children. One, that visual clues are not always pictures. There can be symbols, there can be various numbers, or even signs, or even graphs and charts. And the other thing I wanted to teach you here is, visual clues can even mislead you. They may even convey wrong information, that is, if you don't study them carefully. Keep those things in your mind. Okay, let's move on to the next activity. Now here's an opportunity for you to make use of what you learned so far. In this description, you get a short paragraph about Peter's daily routine. Here we see some of the things Peter does from the morning till he goes to sleep at night. And here you have some pictures describing some of these events. So what you have to do is read this carefully and also study the pictures carefully, and you have to number the pictures to show the correct order of the way Peter does these actions. Now remember what I told you earlier. You have to study each picture very carefully. And you don't have to copy anything. You only have to put the numbers in the correct order. Okay, The time is for you to do this now. Okay, let's read. Peter usually wakes up around 7. So children, is there a picture showing how he wakes up around 7? Of course, there is one picture here. And in this picture, we can see Peter. He's stretching his arms. And also if you look at the clock on the wall, you see the time is 7. What about the window over there? Can you see the bright morning sky through the window? So definitely you can say that this picture is picture number 1. This is what Peter does in the morning. First thing in the morning. Okay, then he takes a wash and sits down to have his breakfast after about 1 hour. Any picture showing him having his breakfast? Okay, there is one picture. Peter is eating. Are there any more visual clues for you to understand what's happening? Yes, can you see the time on the clock? It's 8. What about the window? What can you see through the window? You can again see the morning sky through the window. So definitely that picture becomes the second one, showing what Peter does after waking up. And then, just after breakfast, he gets ready to go to school. It's not difficult for him to travel to school as the school bus comes to pick him up. Now here, you may get confused. Now children, can you see 2 images of the school bus here? Did you study the 2 pictures carefully? In one picture, you can see the school bus and you also can see the driver. In the other picture, you can see the driver. And if you are very careful to study the 2 pictures, you see a difference in the color of the sky. And also you see a difference in the position of the sun. So you can understand that the third one is the picture with the school bus coming towards us. Now the next one. He is a keen student and does his studies well in school. Now children, again you may get confused. Can you see 2 pictures once again? And in these 2 pictures, Peter is studying. So which one shows the school? If you are very careful, you can see in this particular picture, Peter is keeping his school bag near him and you can see the bright sun through the window. So it can be the picture showing how he is studying in school. Okay, then in the afternoon, the school bus drops him at his doorstep. So very easily you can identify that particular picture. The bus dropping him and going back. Okay, the last part. Peter completes all his homework before going to sleep every day. So anyway, it is the last picture, but look at the visual clues, children. Look through the window and what can you see? The night sky. So you can easily guess that it is the last activity he does. So children, now you can understand, if you study the pictures carefully, it's very easy for you to understand the meaning of a text. But remember, sometimes you may get wrong information. That is, if you don't study the picture very carefully. Okay children, let's move on to another activity. Now look at this one. This is a map of Sri Lanka. And I have taken this image from your textbook. It's in Unit 3, Activity 3, which is on page 27. What can you see there? You can see lots of pictures on this map. and each picture shows some information about that particular place. So if you study carefully, you can see a Dagaba where Anuradhapura is marked. Now children, that gives you a lot of information. So Anuradhapura is a sacred city. It's a place of religious value for Buddhists. So what other information is there? So if you look at Ratnapura, you can see the gems there. So Ratnapura is famous for gems. So you can see each picture is packed with a lot of information about the particular place in Sri Lanka. So children, I have prepared an activity with those pictures. I have taken 5 of those pictures, and this is the activity. You have to match the descriptions with the pictures. Now remember to study the pictures carefully and write the correct letter of the picture inside the boxes given here. Okay children, now let's check your answers. I hope you got the answers correct. The first one, an ancient rock fortress in Sri Lanka. Yes, it's picture E, showing a picture of Sigiriya. Then the second one, only known blowhole in Sri Lanka that is located in the southern coast. If you look at the pictures, yes, it's very clear, picture C. And this is a picture of Humanaya. What about the third one? One of the best surfing sites situated in the southeast coast of Sri Lanka. Yes, the picture is picture B. This is Arugambe. A village in Kegol district well known for its elephant orphanage. You can very easily identify the popular tourist destination Pinnavala in this picture. Then the last one, a place for whitewater rafting and a location for adventure-based training. Yes, it's picture D, and you can see a picture of Kitulgala here. So children, in this situation also, what you did was to understand the meaning of a text, you made use of some pictures. Okay, we have done some activities now. Shall we do something different now? Okay. Let's make roti. Roti is a popular breakfast in Sri Lanka. Roti is a popular breakfast item in Sri Lanka. Do you know how to make roti? Don't worry, we are going to learn how to make roti now. This time, I have given you the different steps of making roti in pictures. Now, how to make roti, the different steps also are given, but they are jumbled. So, children, what you have to do is study each of these pictures very carefully and number these steps in the correct order so you can get the full recipe of making roti. The pictures are in the correct order. Okay, it's your time to try this activity now. Okay, children, let's check your answers. Now we'll see what happens here. The first one is done for you. It says, take 1 cup of flour, half a cup of scraped coconut, 2 teaspoons of salt, and to mix well. I think you have all those ingredients in the very first picture and it's done for you. What about the second one? What's happening in the picture? You can see how the dough is made. We'll find the description now. Here, in this statement, it says, then add water as needed to make a smooth dough. Okay, what happens in the third picture? Can you see 4 balls made out of that dough? Okay, so where is that? Here. You have it here. Divide the dough into even sized balls. Okay, what happens in the next picture? Yes, you can see one of the balls and it is flattened with the help of the hands. Shall we see how it is explained? Yes, flatten it out to thick circles using your hands. And here what do you see? You see how it is being cooked. So find the correct statement. It's there. Heat up a pan and cook till you see golden specks on both sides. Okay, so look at the last picture. Now you can see your roti is ready to be served. So very easily you can identify the last statement. So I am sure children you got all these correct. And now you know how to make roti. You can even test it with the help of your family members. Okay, with that we are moving on to the last activity for the day. Now children, this time you are going to read about the 4 seasons. Now here again I have to tell you one thing. This is also something unfamiliar to you because in Sri Lanka we don't see the 4 seasons. So what you have to do is read the descriptions carefully and to understand these descriptions make use of the pictures. What you have to do is write the number of the correct picture inside the boxes given against each description. So children, now it's your time to do this. Okay, let's see how you performed. As you can see, spring, flowers bloom and trees begin to grow. Weather is warm and sunny. Where do you see flowers? In picture 4 you have flowers, but in picture 3 also if you see carefully you see flowers. But which one shows the spring? Yes, it is the 4th picture. What about the summer? Weather is warmer and sunnier. Sun shines brightly in the sky. There grow a lot of fruits and vegetables. It's very clear. In picture 3, you have fruits. So this is number 3. Then autumn. It gets colder and rains a lot. Leaves of the trees change the color. Of course, you have the leaves in brown in the second picture. So it's very easy for you to understand that autumn is shown in the second picture. And the last one is winter. It's snowing. So you can see that there are no leaves on the trees. So very easily you can identify that winter is shown in the first picture. With this activity, we come to the end of today's lesson. In today's lesson, we learned how to make use of visual clues to understand the meaning of a text. Okay, children, before we wind up, let me show you one more picture. This picture speaks 1,000 words. Hope you can understand the message conveyed by this picture. Study it carefully. So, my dear children, remember to plant a tree during your stay at home. Let's meet again. Goodbye.